Hello, good morning and welcome from Woolwich in South London to another video. Today we're going to do something super fun. We're off to Frankfurt to take a look at a brand new plane, but first we've got to get there. Today's adventure starts bright and early at London City Airport, which is just 2 stops on the Docklands Light Railway away from where I live. I actually went nearly 3 whole years without using this airport during the pandemic, so it was good to be back at my local. Oh, I need that. So, what are my plans for today, apart from having that coffee and feeling a bit more human? Well, first off, I'm going to fly on an Embraer 190 of Lufthansa Cityline all the way from here in London over to Frankfurt. That is 385 miles. It'll take us about an hour and a half to get there, and from there we've got a really short flight down to Munich, just 185 miles, and I reckon we'll be in the air for 40 to 45 minutes. A really short flight. It's a kind of proving flight for the airline with a brand new aircraft. Brand new Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. I'm really looking forward to it. It's just about time to board. Let's head to the gate and get cracking. Taking us to Frankfurt is this Embraer 190 of Lufthansa Cityline. Only a few types of jet are certified to fly into London City using the steep approach system, so you'll see plenty of Embraers here, which have plied their trade at City Airport for about 12 years now. Aircraft also have to be able to fit onto the very tight parking stands, and watching this happen is always good fun from the terminal. So while there's nothing much to write home about European business class, it's worth noting that Lufthansa, unlike TAP, British Airways, KLM and others, blocks off seats for extra space in business class on its Embraer fleet instead of selling all the seats.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Your captain speaking. My name is Björn. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to you on behalf of the entire crew. Well, we are almost good to go. We have to make sure that we store your hand luggage properly here, and as soon as that is accomplished, we'll be on our way to Frankfurt. My fellow colleague here on the flight deck, Mr. Dream, is already in touch with air traffic control to make sure that we have no further delay. For the time being, I'd like to thank you for being our guest this morning and enjoy the flight with us.
I have flown east out of London so many times, maybe a couple of hundred, but the views never get old, and I've got just over an hour to relax and take breakfast on our way over to Germany this morning. This is also a very busy air corridor, so if you fly this route, keep your eyes peeled and you're bound to see plenty of aircraft inbound to London. One of the things I love about flying Lufthansa Group airlines is this. Free chocolate, even after breakfast. I think that's something we can all get on board with. Today's video is sponsored by arguably the most fun company yet, Established Titles. Established Titles is a project based on the Scottish custom that any landowner is known as a laird, or a lord or lady in plain old English. They've given me a little plot of land at their holding in Edelston in Scotland. This is it, right here, and sent me this rather nifty proclamation certificate. Anyway, each purchase comes with at least 1 square foot of land and a unique plot number. I think these make great novelty gifts. I did laugh when this arrived in the post. And you can even use it to change your name to match your new title if you like. This guy even put it on his plane ticket. The best news is each purchase means 1 tree planted, and Established Titles intend for their land to be kept in its natural state forever. That means you'll be supporting the forestation and biodiversity of Scotland, as well as getting a great novelty gift. Established Titles told me that the first 200 people to sign up using the link in the description below will get a small plot right near mine in Scotland. So if there are enough of us who want to become a lord or lady together, we can form our own Winging It kingdom up in Scotland. Thanks so much to Established Titles for sponsoring this video. Make sure you visit establishedtitles.com/winging it to shop their Black Friday sale, plus get an additional 10% off any purchase with code Winging It and help support the channel. Now, Frankfurt is not my favourite airport to connect in, and that's putting it mildly, but the transfer gods smiled upon me this day and I had lots of time to hang out in the Senator Lounge, which I was able to access through my Star Alliance Gold status. It's not exactly a world-beating lounge, but it is a welcome retreat from the busy terminal and, well, there's free coffee, which was definitely needed after being awake at 5 AM.
So let me fill you in about these Boeing 787s that Lufthansa have just taken delivery of. The ones that are coming online this year, the one that you'll see today, is actually originally specified for Hainan Airlines. Hainan had to refuse the order and Lufthansa simply said, we'll have those, and have taken delivery of the Boeing 787s early in 2022. Now, the ones that are coming along in 2023 will have a different interior, which looks like this. The one which we're going to be taking today has Hainan's reverse herringbone business class, and Lufthansa have simply changed the colours of the finishes to match their corporate branding. Now, where will you be able to find the 787 in the future? Well, for the most part, up until December, you'll find these on short-haul routes, Frankfurt to Munich and Munich to Frankfurt. And then from the 1st of December, the aircraft is going to be operating Frankfurt to Newark, EWR, New York.
All eyes on flight radar. This was the very first day of 787 operations at Lufthansa, and I was excited to see our aircraft approach. Frankfurt to Munich normally sees A320 family aircraft like this, so our 787 ride was a real treat. It's actually quite common for airlines to put brand new aircraft types on very short routes. Crew need plenty of takeoffs and landings, and it's a good way to iron out any issues. Isn't this a beautiful aircraft though? This one is named Berlin, somewhat ironic as it'll never serve passengers from Berlin. No Lufthansa long-haul routes operate from there after all, and to be honest, today feels a bit low-key. There's no fuss at the gate, and the gate itself is being shared with another flight. In other words, it's business as usual. But the AvGeeks who have turned up today know the significance, a solid step in further modernising Lufthansa's fleet. By the way, in case you've ever wondered what those yellow rectangles by the doors on Lufthansa's aircraft are, they're for writing on. No, really, here's what looks like the remains of the Brandenburg Gate and the name Berlin. The aircraft was just in Berlin the day before for a press reveal.
1 and 2, and for our pre-boarding passengers, please come forward to our self-boarding devices. Thank you.
Okay, here we go, flying the 787 on its first day in revenue service. We're off to Munich, just a short flight, but it should be an exciting one. Let's go. Hello.
Willkommen.
You booked the flight for the
Especially for this, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So welcome aboard. Thanks so much.
See you later.
Oh wow, it's got that new plane smell. Love it. And here she is, a proper 21st century business class on a new Lufthansa plane. 26 seats and everyone has direct aisle access. We have such a short flight today, only about 45 minutes in the air, so I'm not sure the seatbelt sign will even go off. So let's have a quick look at the loo, hey? The toilets are basically factory standard, but something you might not know is all aircraft toilets have to have an ashtray, even though smoking is prohibited. That's so, in case someone does light up, there's somewhere to put it out safely.
My first reaction is, what a beautiful aircraft. Reverse herringbone seats always look good in a business class cabin, but the choice of colours is really quite something, and quite a departure from the really boring grey drab colour scheme that Lufthansa has on their current fleet of A350s, A380s, 747s, 330s and 340s. My goodness, what a big fleet they've got.
A couple of things to note about the cabin. These aircraft, unlike some 787s, do have bin space above the central row of seats, and while Lufthansa has covered up pretty much everything Hainan related about the aircraft, the seat controls remain Hainan red. Elsewhere, the safety video shows how these surprise 787s don't have a dedicated safety video. Here's the old one featuring the old business class cabin, although there is a custom animation featuring the new seat briefly, just here, as the seatbelt is quite different on these aircraft. And back again to the old cabin. Anyway, that's enough nerding out. Let's go.
Good morning, everybody. It is our great pleasure to welcome you on board our new B787 on your Lufthansa Airlines flight from Frankfurt to Munich.
Alright, we're up, and let's focus on a few things the aircraft didn't have when I flew. Wi-Fi was present but didn't work, and I think that's by design on these short trial flights, as it only works at cruise altitude anyway, and it's so short, so why bother charging for it at all? Also, there are no individual air vents, which I assume are an expensive addition to any aircraft order these days. Elsewhere, this is your standard Super Diamond seat, which is a bestseller in the industry, and you can see why. It's well made and a solid all-rounder. The finishes are lovely, and there's a life-saving barrier here between the seat and the fuselage, so gone are the days of losing your phone down here. The seat does well in terms of storage, although quite why the headphones are stored in a different cubby to where the plug is beyond me. Still, the headphones are quite good by airline standards.
This is an unbelievably short flight. It's just 35 minutes down to Munich, so I've no idea what, if anything, we're going to be served on today's flight, but I can hear some rattling in the galley. Let's see what we get.
I'm pretty sure you don't normally get lunch on this route, but the crew need their practice, I guess, and it was actually rather delicious. It's always fun to do something on the first day, and I toasted the day with a glass of sparkling wine, because why not?
So you remember how I said earlier that Lufthansa Group Airlines serve chocolate after every meal, including my breakfast this morning? Well, must be on a health kick, because today they're serving an apple as the post-lunch snack. Not bad.
The entertainment system boasts loads of content, although the screen is susceptible to glare. That's not fatal though, as you can dim the 787 windows. Let me know, by the way, do you like this window dimming feature on the Dreamliner? Finally, I had just about enough time to test out the flatbed, though I'm sure I got a few funny looks as I did this on a 40-minute flight. And here's a seat in bed mode. It's pretty much the same as most other reverse herringbone seats. Plenty of room for me at about 5'8", but if you're over about 6 foot, it might be a little tight, but I don't know of many business class seats that will accommodate you comfortably if you're more than about 6 feet, and it's just one of those things, I'm afraid. And what a roller coaster of a flight this was. I hope I've managed to cover as much as I can with very little time available. Lufthansa has relatively weak business class offerings, and this is a really good step in the right direction. There's speculation that when the batch of Lufthansa ordered 787s come online in 2023, these ones, poached on order, will go to another Lufthansa group airline, possibly Austrian, which also desperately needs an updated fleet. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks to Established Titles for sponsoring the video. Go to establishedtitles.com/wingingit to shop their Black Friday sale, plus get an additional 10% off any purchase with code WINGINIT and help support the channel. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.